Hey, everybody. I'm trying something new today. So it's going to still record and all of that stuff, it appears. So today I'm going to do my end of the month, ending Black History Month, um, February 52-week challenge video this way. I've not done a Facebook Live before. It takes a minute, so I'm learning all of these new things, right? So one of the things that you have to do to set it up in the YouTube studio or whatever is you have to apply, and then once you apply, then you go on and you get approved to go live. So I've done that. And now it seems that I am able to go live. I just was playing with it because I recorded my video and then I was going to upload it like I've been doing. But then I saw that I might be able to go live with this. So here we go. It is Saturday, February 28th, 2026. And as promised to myself, I am doing a 52-week challenge where I will now, maybe I'll go live the rest of the weeks that I have left with my thoughts and ideas about as I continue to discover what I should do with my life now that I'm a Black woman over 50. I'm 63 years old and not working. And so I'm trying to figure out, well, what does one do with themselves? Well, it seems social media is one of the things that I can do. So here I am. And this 52-week challenge is something that I thought about in December. And I thought, what should, how can I get in my reps, if you will? I'm a new swimmer and just celebrated 6 months of my swimming journey. I've said this before. Back in August, I took a trip just because there was a Black woman who offered a a a a a, uh, a retreat called Back to the Water, and the Back to the Water retreat was designed to invite you if you had any sort of angst or fear or nervousness around swimming to come to Cartagena, Colombia, and take some swim lessons. So I decided to do that because it sounded cool and I could. So I did it. And I've been swimming ever since. I swim 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I go and I take water aerobics classes and all of that. All of this to say, this is how I got here to in December going, well, now what are you gonna do? It's a new year. People have vision boards and that kind of thing. What are they actually what are they putting on their vision board? What kind of dreams, what kind of wishes, what do I want to do differently? And so I decided to challenge myself and say, well, I have this YouTube channel. Thank you. Shout out to Stephanie Perry, who is the woman who I was so inspired, who I took a class, about setting up my YouTube channel. And so here I am. That I did that about 3 years ago. And and then I was thinking, well, what am I going to talk about? What to talk about every week, LaRonda? The last week of every month, I will speak about one of the books that I have read that has inspired me, and I will share it with the world, right? For anybody that happens to stop by and see this woman talking to out into the stratosphere. So the book that I chose this month for the book month of February is Jemele Hill's Uphill, a memoir. Jemele Hill was on ESPN Sports Center. I like to tell people that I am sports adjacent. I don't really follow sports. I have two children, two adult children, and if they tell me or I see that they're interested in something, I'll kind of peek and see. So that's how I became interested in understand a little bit more about the Philadelphia Eagles because both of my kids are Eagles fans. Well, Jamel got on my radar when, as a Black woman, I saw her being lambasted, if you will, by when she decided to call out, and this was before his term this time, who is currently the president of the United States, who, if you know me, I tend to not say his name because it's like Beetlejuice. I don't want it to appear. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems. I think what she said in calling that person a white supremacist, and then the White House clapped back at her, if you will, saying that she needed to be fired, etc. She had been at Sports Center or ESPN for 12 years, and she left. She still had a contract. They didn't fire her. She left. And so it's been interesting. The book starts and tells her story of growing up in Detroit. I grew up in Detroit for the first till I was at the end of my middle school year, when I moved to Oklahoma. So we have that in common. Her parents, her both of her parents went through a struggle with drug abuse. I think heroin, and her father. Um, so this book was released in 2022, and the story she shares, the thing that caught me, that really, the reason the book sticks with me all of these years later, is because she was so brave in calling out the unfortunate treatment that she experienced while she was working. While she's been working her career, right? It's hard to be out here. I have had experiences. I worked in the DEI space full time, and during my years doing that work, it was tough. I experienced oftentimes being called the problem. I was the problem when I was hired to, in my understanding and belief in my contract, was to support the underrepresented. Arlen Hamilton calls the underestimated, even, if you will. I like that term even better. That was my passion. And yet, I was losing my job. I am often appreciate those who work in the entertainment business, whether they're singers or on the news or actors, because they know rejection, baby. The rejection that I have experienced throughout my years, especially recently, my recent years of trying to, whether it's restart my career or rebuild a career, create space for myself, for my voice. That rejection I can only liken to that of someone trying to be in the industry. Joyanne Reed, even uh, being in academia. Claudine Gay, where is she? Where is Dr. Claudine Gay, who was hired to be the first Black woman president at Harvard, and then they fired her? And where is she? Where is she? So that's why this book, it caught my attention. Her courageous voice and the stories that she tells. I would love to write this book, this type of book, for the industry that I worked in, where I can tell the stories that I know to be true. I've heard so many. I listen to people speak and talk about their efforts to get a job, keep a job, uh, how they were treated once they got the job. how they were quieted. And Jemele Hill has written a book that basically she just tells the stories. If it's true, why is it a problem to be told? Why shouldn't it be told? So she came up also for me recently because Oprah had done a podcast about folks going no contact, and she had on there parents whose kids had gone no contact, kids who had gone no contact with their parents. Um, and Jamil, after that show, and I saw the backlash and the comments and the feedback of people saying, Oprah, you're the queen of no contact. You told these people not to go. You told the people to go no contact with their families, and now you're acting like this is a new phenomenon. And so Oprah did a follow up to say, I wasn't saying she's what she had initially said, and I'm not an apologist for Oprah Winfrey. She don't need me to do that. Was that it was trending. It's a trending topic, no contact. People are talking more, talking about it, whether it's new or not new. And the backlash that she heard was that, okay, you introduced the topic that you had covered on your talk show, so it's not new in that way. But you didn't talk about, well, what should we do next? Should we just stay no contact? Is that the end of the story? Whatever. So she let one of the people, one of her critics, come on and explain the piece that was the pieces. They said three parts that were missing. I'm not going into it because I understood what she was saying from the door, so she didn't need to explain it and revisit it as far as I was concerned. But it was needed for others, and so she did it. Bravo to her. And one of the people she brought on was Jemele Hill, which brought me back to Jamil's book. So what Jemele had to do, she has gone no contact with her father for the past 3 years. I can't. And her father is angry because when Jemele wrote her book, she didn't give him, this is his version, she didn't give him enough pages in her book. He wanted more shine. And he would also like for her to compensate him, not for just being her father, but because she got the money. Can you help a brother out? Can you help a person out? And that's Oprah immediately um, spoke about that resonating with her. As we all know, people got their hands in your pocket when you making money. If you're making money and you got family members or friends or whatever, and they're not, and you're not as generous with them as they think you should be, they got something to say about that. Reminds me, I always have a joke because I had a joke for everything. Um, the scene in Malcolm X, the movie Malcolm X, when the guy is trying to distract the crowd and he's, get your hand on my pocket. And yeah, that's always what I think about when people get mad because someone is not sharing their resources with you. That's a tough one. And it's tough when it's your parent, when your father is out here publicly talking about what you should do. There's a rapper, Glorilla. I don't keep up with the new rappers. I do confess. I'm a hip hop head from the back in the day, but these new ones I can't keep up with. But I did see on social media that there was a sister that was catching the blues because her sister was like, she ain't helping. She could give us more of her money. And if you've lived as long as I've lived, you've seen a whole lot of people earn money and end up without money because they were trying to help everybody or anybody. They were helping more than they were helping themselves. I'll say that. So That's the video. That's what I had to say. Jemele Hill, this book, as I said, the because of the her courage, and that's what she does. I've followed her since I found out about her, and getting so and so tweeting about her negatively, and I'm like, wow, a woman on a sports show has the president's attention, and he big mad, and the White House is talking about her. Let me find out about this sister. She's something else, huh? So she still writes for the Atlantic. She's got her own she's out here in these social media streets. She's got a YouTube channel. And I see her doing content with her husband, and just wish her much success. And that's my book recommendation for closing out Black History Month. Jemele Hill, pick up your copy of Uphill. Last, have you read last month's recommendation that I gave y'all? I'm just saying, go back and check that video out. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you made it here, and just go on this journey with me. I'm trying to figure out how to use my voice in a time when so many people are trying to silence my voice. That's my message. I'm a freshman senior. I'm learning how to be a senior citizen. Senior citizens, if you're over 50, you getting that AARP magazine, which I do. I have a copy here. You get this AARP magazine, you're a senior citizen. That'd be me. And so I'm leaning into the fact that I have lived this long. I'm going to talk more about some of the elders, because I've been doing research about those who have made it. There's a gospel song that says, millions didn't make it. And I am one of the ones who did. And I did. I'm still here. I'm grateful to still be here and be in my health and in my right mind. And I want to encourage, especially Black women over 50, to find the joy and find yourself. Find the things that give you joy. And it could be serving. Lord knows, I have served, I have helped, I will continue to serve and help. And I ask myself every day, how can I serve and help myself? How about you? I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.